Welcome back to the program. Well, Jamie wants a fair bit of openness. Aaron, what are your thoughts?
Oh, definitely. That's been a real problem, and a lot of times when you're out meeting the public, they come up to you and say, oh, why the hell did the council do that, and who voted for this? And those records are quite hard to find out, and they are public record, but you've got to dig for them. So I've already made a pledge, Rob, that during this term and in the next month or so, I'll be launching a website under my own name to basically keep in touch with the people that voted for me, but also I'm going to publish all the voting records on the major stuff on my website. It'll be open, easy to find. Not if we put a rubbish bin on the corner of High Street, but if we go and put a nuclear power plant in Fendleton, we'll put down who voted for it and who didn't.
Yeah,
Well,
not on my watch, right? They're my electors there.
Okay, so maybe a different neighbourhood. But that kind of stuff, the big things, you know, the buying of buildings and that kind of thing will go on my website, and you'll be able to see who voted which way. And I think with that there, people will think, well, actually the whole city's in the room watching now when I vote, and I think hopefully that will help their decisions a little and the openness.
Glenn?
Yeah, Rob, it was one of the overriding themes in door knocking in Burwood Pegasus anyway. People fed back to me. Financial decision making was one, and then the openness was the other. So we all had a one-on-one meeting with the Mayor, and I just said, look, we both know this. This is what the people said. They would like openness, so there you go. And I think that in a way that's more powerful than just me saying, well, this is my view. This is the view of the community. So
a couple of young guns and a nearly young gun.
Well,
how are you going to be able to convince the Mayor to open up?
It's tricky, isn't it?
Good luck, Jamie. Go first.
Look,
Thanks, Aaron. I think you just got the ball as the halfback there, buddy.
I think, I was always bad at passing to the right, though, so I'll leave you with a really curly one to carry on from. Look, I think, and this is sort of that question that you've got a lot, how do you influence the old guard there, you know, people that have been entrenched in a way, rightly or wrongly, something that they're comfortable with. I think they're going to be forced to a certain extent to take on board that there has been change. That's just that's a given with 5 new councillors now coming into office. But realistically, all you can ask when you elect someone there is to bring a perspective. You know, I would love to say I want to do this, and I've got visions for things that I would like to see in place. But ultimately, it's about me putting my neck on the line, saying what I believe in, and hopefully getting some people on board with me there. If I can make those points eloquently and give some good reasons why, and hopefully have some community feedback and reasons for it, then I think if you put a good case, it's going to be very hard to argue against it. My allegiance is to Christchurch and nothing else. You know, whether someone's way out here on one side or way out there on the other. I even said this in my inauguration speech today. I don't really care what side of the political spectrum someone sits. A great idea is a great idea, and I'll be the first person to grab onto that very, very tightly and push it through and back it to the hilt. So I hope that look, I'm really genuine, enthusiastic and passionate about this. I have an unnatural love for Christchurch. So I just hope that is contagious a bit, and ultimately I'll be voting for what I think's right. And realistically, those other people that want to come along, and if they feel the same way, look, they're elected under their own rights, and it's their prerogative to make the call they want.
Gentlemen, can Bob be made accountable, or more accountable, I should say?
Well, I think he was today, in the sense in which we, as a group, reached a point where it had to be open to vote for the Deputy Mayor. So there was a pull towards... Yeah, it was. You could say that was a minor victory. Obviously disappointing for Chrissy or whoever it was who would have not been elected. But the main thing is there was openness. So, you know, that's what the city wanted, and that's what happened. So that was great.
Well, Rob, there's been terms of reference like Bob's Mob and things like that, or the Type 5 or 6 that you've heard about in the past, and they don't have the numbers anymore. So if they want to put something out there, it's got to appeal to everyone, and Jamie's right. And same with Glenn, we're there to vote for the people. They put us in there. We are truly, you know, like I said in my speech this morning, like, I love my city and I'd give my life for my city, you know, like our forefathers did. And that's the new flavour at the table. And so I think this time around Bob doesn't really get a choice, and hopefully it'll make him a better person because of it.
Yep. If I can just touch on that, I think what you say is dead right. Realistically, look, Bob got a lot of flack for some of the decisions that were made, and in Bob's defence here, let's be honest, it's not Bob that makes these calls, it's an entire council. So every single one of those councillors is accountable for that, and Bob's vote is worth no more than mine or Aaron's or Glenn's there.
And the election result showed that some of those councillors were held accountable. And thank goodness finally it did happen. And I think they falsely assume in the Central Civic offices there that the city believes in everything they do, and that's the opposite to what we've found campaigning. The city doesn't
sort of
believe
become, it's almost presidential now, isn't it?
It's a them and us, and it shouldn't be that anymore. We need to get back on board, and what better time than a crisis? Fantastic.
And a good leader will learn to adapt, so if he can adapt and have greater openness and realise that the power's got to be shared, it's one vote per person. That's how we do it. So,
gentlemen, it's almost as though there's no room for party politics in the Christchurch City Council now.
I think so.
I think there is. I'm relaxed about it because I'm quite happy for, Jamie, independent citizens. Pardon?
You have to say that.
No, I make up my own mind. I'm happy for me to be 2021 and your
City Vision. The only one.
I think it's a bit like drinking. It's not our politicking, it's how we're politicking. So if we're open to one another, I practice that, then we can... I nearly put it in my speech today, but I just edited
But you've got it now.
It's on TV instead. But
it's good. It means it's on public record, so I can't steal that one. I like it very much.
Thank you very much. No, it's just being open to that possibility of collaboration. That's the main thing. So we'll vote on the issues, but yeah, we can work together.
That's good. What are some of the issues that need to be tackled?
Well, actually, good point, Glenn. I hope we can vote on the issues because all of us have got things we're passionate about, and hopefully we've got time now that each of us can tell you that, Rob, because, obviously one of mine was free parking at the hospital, and I managed to get on the health board, not because of my personality or that I like sick people, but because I had a strong policy on free parking at the hospital. And Canterbury believe in that. Now we've just got to get the civic officers to believe in the same thing, which I'm constantly getting told of all the things we can't do in the last couple of weeks in our inauguration, not the things we can. So I am worried, but I am here to represent the people and the things they like. Lower rates, no one wants their rates going up, but council seem to think it's fine for them to go up 2 or 3 times the rate of inflation. That's not the feedback we've had in the last few years that we've been campaigning.
Well, it's the only organisation that can charge whatever they want to cover whatever costs they've got.
Yeah, and that's got to stop. That's the old days, and the new days started this morning.
As far as it goes with, basically to tie in the last question, the next one there, as far as party politics goes, look, now don't get me wrong, I rate Glenn very highly as a man. I think he's an outstanding guy, I genuinely really like him, and I'm excited to be working with him for the next 3 years. This isn't a slight at 2021 or anything like that at all. My personal belief, independent citizens, for instance, is a group that selects candidates who they think are best placed to take the city forward. That's great. It's a quality control, not a policy control type thing, and I'm comfortable with that. I would walk the day they said to me, hey, independent citizens are voting this way. So personally, it's just a personal thing, right or wrong, I don't know, but I very much believe that I'll take everything on a case-by-case basis. As I said earlier, don't care who comes up with it. If it's going to take Christchurch forward, then I'm there. I don't mind if it's Glenn, if it's Aaron, or if it's myself. It has this idea.
We're coming back very shortly with some more of the issues that these young guns are going to talk about.